What's up, everybody? Welcome to the King Closers Formula. I am the King Closer, RJ Bates III. Today, I'm going to be answering that question that you guys love to ask me all the time. RJ, what market should I wholesale in? And I always answer, that's your decision. You got to choose your hard. So today, we're going to talk about what that means and how you make that decision. And really, this should decipher what your business looks like moving forward. You guys hear me talk about the hedgehog concept all the time. Well, it starts with, what markets do you want to wholesale in? Right? For us, it's nationwide. We made the entire United States our market. Now, we're going to break down what that looks like after doing that for the past 5 years, because we have enough data to actually show you guys there's certain locations that you should definitely be wholesaling in, and there's other locations that you should probably not be wholesaling in. And then inside of those specific states, you can break that down into specific counties, cities, and also you should be making some of this decision based off of the regulations for wholesaling that are currently in place. Now, simultaneous to me doing this, you guys hear a little dog whimpering over here. That's Titus. Titus is with us today. He's a little bit upset that he's in the cage. He's in Dad's office today. He's a little bit upset, so just bear with us. But I'm excited, man. We got people all up in here today. Appreciate you guys. Scott Jenkins, looking forward to hearing what RJ has to say today. Man, I'm doing fantastic. Before we get too far into this, I have two things I want to give away to you guys, okay? First, you guys have probably seen me talk about this before, but if you go to titaniumu.com/markets, this is a free download. It breaks down I'm going to show it today. We're going to go through it a little bit, but it's going to show the percent of deals that we've done in a state. It's going to give you a title company for that state, and this is just a free resource breaking down each individual state and kind of my feelings about it. I give like a rating and a review on the state, both on the acquisitions, dispositions, and then just overall. So that's giveaway number one that I have for you. The other giveaway that I have for you, this is from our friends over at Easy REI Closings. David Olds actually put this together. It's about 32 pages, and it's specifically on the war on wholesaling. The regulations that have come down. So he breaks down which specific regulations are in each location. So some of them are statewide. Some of them are just in specific cities or counties. You can download that for free. That's in the live chat right now. So if you're watching this on replay, just click on the live chat and you'll see those links up at the top. And like I said, those are free giveaways for you guys. Both are very valuable resources. The Easy REI report actually just got released like 15 hours ago, so that's brand new. And I saw it this morning, and I was like, dude, you got to give me a link for that, because I'm literally going live today to talk about which markets you should wholesale in. So that's awesome. Let's see here. 50-50 review, you did right. That was awesome. Appreciate that. Everybody be quiet. RJ's live right now. Appreciate that. Steven Shackelford, what's up, man? Appreciate you guys hopping in here. So the first thing that I want to talk about before we get into specific states and my feelings about it and then stuff like that is this discussion when it comes to, hey, lead generation. Where should I specifically either be buying leads or should I be trying to generate leads myself? And one of the things that I have repeatedly said to people inside of TU and just in general when I'm asked this question is, you need to decide what you want to be the difficult part of your business. Do you want acquisitions to be hard, or do you want dispositions to be hard? You have to choose your hard there, okay? So what I mean by that is when I say I'm a nationwide virtual wholesaler, the reason why we did that is because it made acquisitions easier for us. Okay. And this is coming from me, the guy that's known for closing deals, right? The king closer. Well, I want to have properties under contract. And so I don't want to be in a market that is difficult like a Phoenix, Arizona, and compete with the Brent Daniels that are very inundated in that market and have a strong presence. I would rather come in and siphon maybe 3, 4, 5 deals out of Phoenix, Arizona over the course of a year, and that be a very small percentage of our business, right? We get the low hanging fruit, and that's basically my business model. I'm just going around and I'm grabbing all the low hanging fruit that the local investors missed. And then I'm dispoing those deals to the known buyers in those areas, utilizing the disposition tools that are available to us, like Investor Lift, Investor Base, Deal Speed, Privy, PropStream, JVing with Titanium University members. Okay. So that's my business model. And the reason why I did that is it lowered our overhead on our average cost per lead so significantly that we had a lot more leads. And then what we found out was our closing rate on those leads was higher. The problem with this is that you get leads all over the country, and then dispositions can become a problem for you, right? You're going to get deals in the middle of Iowa that you might not know a buyer. And so instead of dispo being super easy like it is in a location like Dallas, Fort Worth, or Arizona, or Florida, or Georgia, where it's easy, it could be cumbersome. It could take you maybe a week to 2 weeks to even get a showing, right? This is just the nature of what we do. So we chose that we would make dispositions a little bit harder on us because acquisitions is easier. Now, the flip side of that is some people say, I don't like having to terminate or renegotiate deals. And so I would rather be in a specific location where I know if I get a deal, I'm going to be able to dispo that. Okay, great. I have no problem with that being your business model at all. Flip side of that is acquisitions does become a little bit more costly, right? You're going to have to spend more on the leads, probably, unless you're generating those leads yourself. But even then, you're limited on the amount of data, right? Think about it just in comparison. I have unlimited data because I'm willing to pull lists in all 50 states. If you're only willing to do that in the state of Ohio, you only have the amount of data that exists inside the state of Ohio. Same thing when it comes to PPL leads. You're going to have limited amount of leads, and you're going to end up spending more, even if it's just statewide. And then you break that down. If you were to go countywide, it's even more expensive, right? That being said, you made dispositions a lot easier for you. So this is where, as the business owner and the entrepreneur, you have to make a decision on what type of business do you want to run and choose your heart. So this is one of those things that I tell people all the time. Now, there's other people like J.W. Epstein inside of TU. He went nationwide. He did the full virtual thing, and he didn't like it, right? It didn't really resonate with him and his style, and he loves doing belly-to-belly appointments, which, again, I don't have a problem with you doing belly-to-belly appointments. It's just not what I do. I made a decision that we're not going to do that at all. We're going to try to be the most efficient business that we possibly be. And in order to do that, we need to be 100% virtual. JW looks at it and says, I still love the power of going and seeing the property, being belly to belly with the seller, and negotiating that face to face. And he has success doing that. If you want to do that, again, this is where that's a decision that you make, and it limits your ability on leads, and the cost per lead goes up normally. So whereas sometimes people ask me, hey, RJ, how much is your average cost per contract? And I say, normally our intention is on a month-by-month basis, sub $1,000, sometimes even sub $700. That's where people really have questions. Like, what are you talking about? I see you buy, top end leads from Speed to Lead. I know you use property leads and Lead Solo. Well, again, a lot of that comes from the fact that we are nationwide. We're getting the cheapest leads that they sell. If you go countywide, yes, you're going to get great leads. You're not going to get anything rural or in an area that's probably hard to dispo unless you're choosing that as your market, which I would question. And then dispositions is going to be a lot easier for you. What I've seen with the people that go countywide is normally their volume is a little bit less because they're limiting themselves. People that really open it up, it's where they can do a little bit more volume. Flip side of that is the people that do more volume normally have a lower average assignment fee. The people that do less volume in a specific location normally have a higher average assignment fee. So again, I'm okay with having a lower average assignment fee because I have deals under contract. That's more to placate my own personality as the business owner. I go insane if we don't have deals under contract, we don't have anything to monetize. Whereas some people would look at this and say, I wouldn't want to do a deal for a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 assignment fee. I only want to do deals where I can make $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 assignment fees. Completely reasonable. I understand where you're coming from. Sometimes it is annoying when we do a lot of work and we only end up with a $4,000 assignment fee. That being said, we will also get the flip side where we get a deal in a place like Daytona Beach or Tampa, Florida, or a Fort Worth, Texas, or a Houston, Texas, and we can pop off a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 assignment fee. So these are the decisions that we're making. So with all of that being said, let's move on to actually looking at specific locations. Now, last week, you guys asked me about which markets should we be wholesaling in. And I brought up this map right here. Now, this is the map of all the deals that we've done across the United States. Now, again, I need to update it off of the past couple of months, but it still gives you a pretty good visual representation of where the vast majority of our deals have been done. As you can see in certain locations, not many deals done like the Idahos, the Montanas, the Dakotas, the Wyomings, right? We've done deals there, but it's few and far between. The vast majority of our deals has been in Texas. I'm going to pull that up, but I believe it's like 27 or 28% of our deals have been in the state of Texas. Now, again, that's because when we got started, we were only doing deals in Texas, and we did a pretty significant volume when we got started those first couple of years. And then we started expanding out. Now, I've always said when we look at the mainland, we're going to ignore Alaska and Hawaii. I don't really recommend many people to wholesale out there. Unless you're specifically in that location. There's weird nuances that come with Hawaii and Alaska. But I've always said if you just draw a line from, Texas up, basically right here on the east side of Oklahoma, anything west, this is going to be harder on acquisitions, easier on dispositions, higher average assignment fees, right? And then on the East Coast over here, you're going to see a little bit harder acquisitions, higher assignment fees. Dispositions is going to be a little bit easier. And then the locations that are wholesaling bread and butter, the Midwest and the Sun Belt, right? You're going to have your Ohios, your Indianas, your Michigans. These locations right here, astronomical amount of volume that we've done. Easy on acquisitions, easy to dispo, lower assignment fees though. All right. And then down here in the Sun Belt, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, kind of have a little bit of city specific metrics to them, right? There's definitely locations in Florida that are so rural that the dispositions is a little bit harder. The assignment fees can be really high in Florida and they can also be really low, right? You're inside of the state of Florida, you're going to get, the Cape Corals and the Tampas and the South Beach in Miami and locations like that are great. And then you're also the same day you could turn around and you could get, $20,000, mobile home, right? That can only generate you a $5,000 to $10,000 assignment fee. It's all just very city specific inside the state of Florida. Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, easy on the acquisitions, harder on the dispo, low assignment fees. very similar in the state of Missouri. Tennessee is pretty average. Kentucky pretty average. But this is where I always tell people, if you're wanting to get started on virtual wholesaling, the Midwest is a great place, and the Sun Belt is a great place. What are the icons? The icons are our logo on top of an address, a property that we have sold the deal. So we have acquired it and we've sold the deal. So every single one of those is a property that we have successfully wholesaled. All right. And then as you can zoom in, like the specific locations, you see there's a lot more addresses. This is St. Louis. Obviously, we've done a significant amount of volume in a place like that. So this is something I started back in 2015. Someone said, hey, RJ, if this wholesaling thing takes off, it looks like you're going to impact a lot of properties. Maybe you should make a little map and just drop an icon. Originally, I just was dropping an icon on a Google map. And then once we started making logos for every different state, I changed it over. And it's just been a little passion project for me. And it's been awesome to see the amount of deals that we've done and how it's impacted the United States. So I've loved the journey on it. All right. So I talked about the titanium market breakdown that we'll give away to you guys for free. Again, you can download this at titaniumu.com/markets. Okay. Recommend everybody to do that. I'm going to go through some of this here real quick. But basically, this is what it looks like, right? It's got our little logo on there. It's got the nickname of the state, population. Again, I'll preface this. We made this a year ago. Some of the information has changed in regards to the title company that we use. But the main thing here is just kind of breaking down the feel of the state, okay? So down here at the bottom, you see I've got an overall rating, a dispo rating, and an acquisitions rating. So Alabama is a great example of one of the markets I'm talking about. Acquisitions is super easy in the state of Alabama. And what I mean by that is it's very easy to call. Like if you were to go give me like 10 leads in Alabama, I can almost guarantee you on the first dial, I will get a contract in the state of Alabama. If you were to give me 10 leads in the state of California, I don't know that I'm going to come out with a contract. There's just a lot more motivation in the state of Alabama. There's a lot more wholesale properties available there. Condition has a lot to do with that. The fact that it's got a lot of tenants, a lot of rental properties in the state makes a difference. The problem with Alabama is when it gets to dispositions. Okay. You're going to have buyers that are going to want to buy steeper. They're going to want more equity. The cash flow, like there's going to be specific locations where, hey, you think you got a 2% rental, right? And they're going to say this is a 3% rental market. And so it's kind of a kick in the teeth sometimes when it comes to dispositions. But out of all the states, 50 states that we've done deals in, Alabama ranks number 8 in the amount of transactions, and 8 with only 2.82% of the deals. Okay. So it shows you how spread out that we've been. So when people come to me and they say, RJ, what are your thoughts about Alabama? Well, of course, it ranks 8th. So I would be like, yeah, it's been a good market for us, but it's less than 3% of the deals that we've done. So is it that great of a market, or is it just that we've done enough deals for it to rank in the top 10, right? Again, this is one of those markets that I think you need to be aware that dispositions can be a problem for you, okay? Alaska, like it's called the last frontier for a reason, okay? I would recommend if you don't have any connections to Alaska, you should avoid Alaska, okay? Overall, I gave it a 2-star. Acquisitions is 4, dispo 1. Most people don't even know what wholesaling is there. Arizona, 17th overall. I give it a 3-star. The reason why I give it a 3-star is because I feel like for a virtual wholesaler, there's so many better markets that you could be in than Arizona because it's the competition is so heavy there. But Dispo wise, I do give it a 5-star rating. So anytime that I talk to someone that lives in Arizona, I always tell them you should absolutely be doing deals in that state. Arkansas, listen, it's up there, 11th overall. The problem with Arkansas is most people have struggles with comping and underwriting. So I gave Arkansas a 4-star rating overall. Acquisitions really high. Dispo 4 overall. The problem is if you do not understand how deep the buyers want to buy in Arkansas, then you will struggle on Dispo. This is not one of those markets where you can try to push something 75% of ARV minus repairs. They'll laugh at you. Okay. This is one of those markets where you're probably going to have to be more like 65% of ARV minus repairs. All right. California, one of my least favorite markets, one of my least favorite states. Is beautiful. Love the weather. Acquisitions 1, Dispo 3. You know what's crazy about California? Yeah, if you get a deal in San Francisco, LA, San Diego, yeah, it's going to be a banger. All right. But there's so much land space in California that there are definitely places that you can get deals that you'll never find a buyer. And if you, in comparison to a place like Texas or Florida, you can get rural deals and still find buyers. California just been a struggle. There's a lot of locations where people just don't want to buy deals. So for that, I gave it a 3. I don't love California. All right. Colorado, we haven't done a significant amount of deals there, right? Less than 1%. I do own land in Colorado. Last year we bought probably 15 acres of land in Colorado. Acquisitions, it's one of the harder markets. Dispo, I call it mid-tier. Overall, just not one of my favorite markets. I don't see a lot of people doing deals there that are not inside of Colorado, right? I don't see virtual wholesale deals happening in Colorado often. Probably one of my least favorite markets overall. Connecticut, 46th. You know what's crazy? I really like New England too. Connecticut, just I don't know what it is. Me and the people of Connecticut have never really we've never really bonded. So it's just been one of my tougher markets, man. I don't get a ton of leads there either, even from when we're doing Leadzolo and property leads where it's like, hey, send us anything across the nation. I just don't really get a lot in Connecticut. Could be because other people inside the state are getting a lot of deals. Same thing in Delaware. So small, right? Very small. We have done some deals there. Just not enough action really for me to feel any other way other than 1-star rating. Florida, one of my favorite markets. Top 5, 4.4% of our deals. Love Florida. Love basically the whole state. There's very few places. In fact, the only place that I really don't love to get leads in would be around Miami and the Keys. Everywhere else. So basically anywhere north of Miami and west of Miami, I'm feeling really good about. 5 stars across the board. Just absolutely love Florida. Georgia's like Florida's little brother. It's just not as good. It's close, right? But it's not Florida. The assignment fees are a little bit lower. The acquisitions is always a little bit more difficult. Dispo is always a little bit more difficult. It's 4 stars, just not Florida, right? And I think just like you compare Florida and Georgia and sports, it's just, it's always a little bit second tier. All right. Hawaii, number 1 state that everyone, if you do not have a connection in, you should avoid at all costs. They don't like people from the mainland. They'll chew you up, spit you out. You're a haole, okay? We've done a lot of deals over there. It ranks 21. I've owned a lot of real estate in Hawaii. Dispo, going to be extremely difficult unless you know how to talk to people and explain it. Also, you have to talk to the title companies on how to do the deals. Acquisitions is relatively easy, but they're higher price points, so the underwriting is just very time consuming. Just overall, Alaska and Hawaii, avoid. Idaho, I don't get it. 49th overall in regards to the amount of deals. 1 star across the board. People in Idaho think I'm from California. Don't know why, but they hate me. I love the state. Think it's beautiful. It's real tough. Illinois, one of my more favorite states. The regulation came down in Illinois several years ago. It really helped us out because it kind of ran off some of the competition, and people feel like it's hard to do deals in Illinois. You do have to pay attention to the regulation there, but I give a 5-star on acquisitions, a 4-star in Dispo. The only reason why I gave it a 4-star is because there definitely are locations that are lacking in value. And so because there's no opportunity for us to even capture equity because the property value is just so low overall. So that's where Illinois probably has a little bit of issues. Indiana, 6th overall, great market. There is a regulation that you have to be aware of. Okay, but 3.29% of our deals, 5 stars across the board. Overall, Indiana, great market. Okay. Hey, buddy, can you chill out? The people are trying to learn about what market to wholesale in. Titus is whining over here, man. He's like, dude, listen, I hear you talk about this all the time. All right, Iowa. Even though Iowa ranks 12th here, I give this a pretty high rating. I've really always enjoyed acquisitions in Iowa. I found this out. The first time I ever did acquisitions in Iowa was in 2020 during the 50-50-50. And I think I got 6 contracts in one day. And man, it was just a banger of day. Dispo, again, very similar to Arkansas. You have to buy deeper. Okay, your end buyers in Iowa are going to expect a significant amount of equity there. But if you can achieve that, right, and if you use the web formula where end buyers buy, you would know that, and you'd be able to get those deals moved. But if you don't give enough equity, they're not going to buy. Kansas, overall, one of my least favorite states, even though I give it a 3-star because there are places that you can do deals. Obviously, Kansas City, Wichita. But Dispo has always been a problem for me. It's just the vibe of Kansas has not been there for me, especially in comparison to Missouri, which is its next door neighbor. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But overall, Kansas just, I don't seek out wanting to get leads in Kansas. I'll say that. Kentucky. This is one of my more favorite markets. As you see, 4 stars across the board. Love Louisville, love Lexington. It's not going to be a high volume state because it is, lower population in comparison to other states, but it can be a good one. Louisiana, listen, 2 stars overall. If you are needing to get deals, okay, you can get the dopamine hit by getting some leads in Louisiana and feel good about yourself. And then you get to Dispo and you realize it's going to be a kick in the teeth. I don't recommend Louisiana for many people. Okay. It's a tougher market for sure. Especially on the Dispo side, as you see 1 star. Maine. Again, I really like the New England states. It's not going to be high volume. Acquisitions, 5. Dispo, 3, a little bit harder. You have to stay south. If you get up north in Maine, you're in trouble. But you stay down south, you'll be all right. Overall, I'll give it a 4-star. Maine's always good for like 3-4 bangers for us in a year. I think we average like $20,000 assignment fee in Maine. All right, Maryland. I like Maryland. 4 stars on acquisitions, 4 stars on Dispo, 4 stars overall. Here's the thing about Maryland. Most people would probably consider this one of a more difficult state for acquisitions. But I have actually always enjoyed Maryland. And I think there's plenty of places that you can locate deals. And then dispo-wise, it's pretty easy to get deals moved. So in comparison to some of its neighbors, right? Remember Delaware right there. I didn't like Delaware. Maryland opens us up, got sizable population. Even though it's 21st overall, it's still a pretty decent market for us. Massachusetts, again, New England State, 3 stars on acquisitions just because of the competition. And then we've never really done anything in Boston, right? It's largest city. Everything's always been west of that. Dispo-wise, obviously, if you get a deal there, you're going to be able to get it moved. Just probably never going to be a high-volume market for us. All right, Michigan, 7th overall, 5 stars across the board. Absolutely love Michigan. Again, Midwest state. This is where I tell everybody, go to places like Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. This is the bread and butter. This is where you get your reps in, right? This is where you learn. And the other thing is, this is a place where your end buyers tell you, like, hey, this is where I want deals. I see it more in a place like Michigan than I see anywhere else. Love Michigan. Minnesota, we put it as the Gopher State. It's also the land of 10,000 lakes. Love the logo. Wish I loved doing deals there as much as I love the logo. 3 stars. It's never really been anything that significantly made a difference for us as a business, right? I don't get a lot of leads there. Similar to Connecticut, we've had deals, but I don't think it'll ever be like something where I'm like, oh, yes, we got something in Minnesota. Mississippi, very similar to Louisiana, 1 star in the dispo, 5 star in the acquisition. Again, if you need to just get a deal, you can go to Mississippi. Patrick, you know the answer to that. Come on now. It's $29 a lead. Coupon club leads. You knew that. 3 stars overall. One of the best title companies out there, Sam Gibson. Love her. But the rest of the state, I'm not feeling it. Missouri, number 2 state volume-wise here at Titanium Investments. Missouri, 7.65% of our deals have been in the state of Missouri, mainly in St. Louis. 5 stars across the board. So this is the thing. Love Missouri, don't like Kansas. This is more of like just a personality, a feel, an experience thing. We've had great success in St. Louis specifically, but Missouri, and we haven't had the same kind of success in Kansas. So this is where, hey, what market should I wholesale in, RJ? Well, for me, I would be like, Missouri's a great state. Some people come back to me and they're like, dude, I locked up 3 deals in St. Louis, couldn't dispo. Well, good. You found something out, right? I'm sure your buyers gave you feedback. If you underwrite correctly in St. Louis, you'll be able to move deals. All right, Montana, again, just not a high volume state. Acquisitions 3, dispo 1. They don't know what wholesaling is there, okay? So overall, we're just going to give this a 2, all right? Nebraska, man, I actually really enjoyed Nebraska until the regulations came down. And when the regulations came down and you have to have a licensed realtor on any marketing that you do for dispositions, really kind of changed my tune there. Originally, I went for it's a love-hate relationship. I hated Nebraska, then I loved it, and now I'm kind of back to hate. I think we've only done like 1 or 2 deals since the regulations have come down there. Wasn't really a high-volume market for us to begin with. Patrick, the nationwide exclusive leads a fixed price or market dependent? It depends. If you do fixed price mode, then they're a fixed price. If you go on the marketplace, it's whatever the price is. All right. Nevada, we don't have much traction there. 41. Again, this is one of those markets out west. Acquisitions wise, I gave it 1. Dispo, I only gave it a 1. Las Vegas, obviously, but the vast majority of the state is in places where it's going to be really difficult to dispo. So if you get a deal in Vegas, right, you're going to probably be able to move it. But everywhere else, it's going to be hard, right? New Hampshire, number one state that has no clue what wholesaling is. That's my feedback there. 1 star across the board. New Jersey, man, we've got people inside of TU just crushing it in New Jersey. I don't love New Jersey. I give a 1 star in acquisitions. Dispo wise, yeah, I mean, it's solid there. But man, Josh English crushing it there. Hyro is right there in New York. He does deals in Jersey. Absolutely crushing it there. So maybe I'm a little bit low on my rating on New Jersey. New Mexico, harder to acquire, great on dispo. I really like New Mexico, even though it's only 26 in volume. New Mexico has always been really good to us, specifically around Albuquerque. But some of the other markets, you can really do well out there. Las Cruces, Santa Fe, some of the Roswell even. I really like New Mexico. So much so I actually bought, we had a Titanium Investments of New Mexico shirt made. New York is interesting, man. One, it's an attorney state. The attorneys in New York are more difficult than any other attorney state. They're deal killers extraordinaires. Acquisitions across the board, I gave it 3 stars. The reason why is because there are locations in New York that it's easy to acquire. You know, the Buffaloes, the Rochesters, the Syracuse. Dispo wise, there's certain locations that if you get any sort of a deal, right, you're going to be able to get rid of it. So overall, it's 3 stars, but I would recommend the majority of people stay out of New York unless you're specifically there and you have connections to the attorneys and you understand how to navigate that situation. This is definitely not a market for beginners. North Carolina, 3 stars. I'm pretty impartial to North Carolina. You know, I don't get overly excited. I don't get, downtrodden about it. It's not like getting a California lead or a Colorado lead. It's just kind of like, I mean, we've done deals there. It's mid-tier, 28, 3 stars. North Dakota, stay away. 1 stars. You don't need to go to North Dakota. Ohio, number 3, banger, 7.59%. Again, 5 stars across the board. One of my favorite markets. One of my favorite markets for sure. There are specific locations like Dayton and Toledo, certain parts of Cleveland that you need to be very aware of, right? Lower property values, more difficult to dispo. But outside of that, it's a really good market. Okay, Oklahoma, 5-star in acquisitions, 3 on dispo, 4 overall. The regulations is something to be aware of. 4th overall, we had done a significant amount of volume prior to the regulation. I'm not saying I avoid Oklahoma because of the regulation, but I will say we have done a lot less deals in Oklahoma since then. Oregon basically just got crippled with one of the worst regulations in all of wholesaling. It was really good on dispo, right? Oregon sucks now. Just they ruined it. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was right up there with Ohio and Michigan and Indiana. Regulations are now down. We don't have it added here, but it is on the other report that I'm giving to you guys today. There are really great locations in Pennsylvania to do deals. There's a lot of in buyers there. You just have to navigate the regulations now. Rhode Island, just no volume, right? 46 overall, so small. 1 stars across the board. Rhode Island also, the majority of sellers, it's like a secondary home or something like that. And so it becomes pretty cumbersome on the acquisition side. South Carolina, ruined by Trangaling, right? He comes along, he put in the stupid regulation, started the war on wholesaling in South Carolina, ruined it. I didn't really like South Carolina to begin with. 30th in volume, just never really an important location for us. That's just my personal feelings. If you're going to do deals in South Carolina, why not just go down further south to Georgia? It's probably a better market overall anyways. All right. South Dakota, just stay away from. Okay. I think South Dakota might be the most difficult location to dispo a deal. Every time we've had a deal in South Dakota, it's like, hey, going about this property we got on 123 Main Street. Oh, cousin Johnny's house. What's Johnny doing? It's like, shit, y'all literally know everybody. It just makes it really awkward. Just stay away. Tennessee, one of my more favorite markets, right? 4 stars overall because dispo could be a little bit harder in some of the locations. Acquisitions, I gave it a 5-star. Is this pre-recorded? No, this is not pre-recorded. Live, Bubba. But overall, I really like Tennessee. Texas, dude, 28.89% of our deals. 5 stars across the board. Beautiful thing about the great state of Texas is you can pretty much go anywhere and you're going to be able to find a buyer if you got it correctly. There's buyers everywhere. There's not like a specific city in Texas where it's like you have to avoid that. Okay. Love Texas. Love it. Best state in the union. Utah. When this was made, we had not done a deal there. We have done a deal in the state of Utah now. Still ranks 50th. 1 stars across the board. Obviously, we don't love Utah here. However, I will say we were able to dispo in a town of 111 people in the state of Utah. That was impressive. Vermont, 41, very low volume. Similar also to New Hampshire, where people just don't understand wholesaling. So Vermont, I would recommend if you're wanting to expand, this is not the location for you. Virginia, regulations that you have to be aware of, but 4 stars across the board. I've always been fond of Virginia. Not a ton of volume, 29th, but when we do a deal there, it's a pretty decent one. And like I said, we're able to dispo it pretty easily. Washington, difficult on acquisitions, easier on dispo, making it a 3-star overall. 40th in volume, but pretty decent size assignment fees. West Virginia, 5-star acquisition, 1-star dispo, 1-star overall. Dispo is going to be really difficult in West Virginia. Okay. Banger of a logo. Look at that minor, baby. Love the logo. Don't love the state. Honestly, some of the deals that we've done in West Virginia, in order to dispo them, we had to sell or finance them because we couldn't just get a cash buyer to come in. Wisconsin, out of all the states up in the considered Midwest, Wisconsin's probably my least favorite. Just acquisitions wise, it's always been more difficult in comparison to a Michigan or an Indiana or Ohio. Dispo's good. I'm not super fond of Wisconsin in comparison to the other Midwest states. And then last and certainly not least, we've got Wyoming. You can acquire deals. Cheyenne, Casper, Laramie, pretty decent markets. Okay. Not a ton of population, but you got the University of Wyoming and Laramie, and then Casper and Cheyenne, relatively bigger cities for Wyoming. So you can do deals there. Dispo is going to be hard, and you're going to get a vibe similar to South Dakota. So that's breakdown of the 50 states. Again, guys, you can download that, titaniumu.com/markets. You can download that, what I just went through, for free. Let me answer some questions before we move on to the next one. How do you comp outside DFW? No, you don't have to have a realtor license in all cities in Texas. You would just have to have one license in the state of Texas, and then just MLS access. You can just have Privy or Propelio or PropStream. They have MLS access in the state of Texas. So we actually, even though Cassie's a licensed realtor in the state of Texas, it's been years since I even looked at the MLS, old Netris. And then we wouldn't even have MLS access in any other location outside of DFW. We just use Privy, PropStream, or Propelio has it as well here. Can investors dispo a multifamily on investor lift? Yes. Hey, Speed to Leave, you want to hook me up with South Carolina? I don't think they're going to hook you up. They'll sell them to you. Bay Area is great for dispo. It's going to be hard on acquisitions and banger assignment fees. I mean, you can get 6-figure fees there. On my outbound virtual marketing for wholesale, I go for non-attorney states and price disclosure states. I mean, I could see like avoiding some of that. I think the price disclosure, you're probably making a bigger deal out of that than you need to. I mean, privy is the answer to the majority of that. Majority of the non-disclosure states, they have MLS access. It just shows you the comps. Speed Elite says, I can't wait until we start doing stuff in the great state of Canada. Oh, 51, baby. What about Wilmington, Delaware? Abdul, if you're in Wilmington, Delaware, then I recommend you should probably be doing deals there. Delaware is one of the lower volume states that we have. We have done a deal in Wilmington specifically. Dispo is easy, but it's just so small. It's just not a lot of leads, quite frankly. So I recommend you expanding out. And in your case, if you want to know where to go, I would say, dude, you've got Virginia and Maryland right there. Those are two of my favorite states. Glad they hear out of respect and confidence as you've seen the feud in Titanium U. Well, it wasn't with Titanium U. It was inside the vault with Lead Zolo and iSpeed. How is it some people don't have issues with these softwares and others have the worst of it? Well, I think, listen, I think some people just react when things don't go correctly, right? And it's like I said in there, I thought the post was great, the conversation. You saw people in there were succeeding. You saw other people, blasting Lead Zolo. Speed to Lead's been blasted previously. There was a trend inside the vault, a year ago, 6 months ago. People were complaining. And then the next thing you know, someone posts about success, and then it starts catching fire that other people are seeing success. I think at the end of the day, there is a rightful concern with Lead Zolo, and it's something that we have expressed to them, and we're going to continue to express to them that the complaint, the refund policy should probably be worked on. It should probably be better handled. And I think that's the number one complaint that people have. And then the changing of the business model, right? Moving away from strictly YouTube leads and doing the bid process. You always know when people change their business model, people are going to complain and they're going to do that. So I think this is part of what Lead Zolo knew was going to come. But at the end of the day, we've been using Lead Zolo now for 2.5, 3 years. We've seen ups and we've seen downs with them. And every time we just express it to them. And this is why we use multiple lead providers, right? I mean, if I see a down with Lead Zolo, which I did a couple months ago, probably 6 or 7 months ago, we just slowed down the amount of volume of leads that we were getting. We communicated with them. They communicated back with us. They told us some of the things that they were working on. And then once the quality went back up, we just ramped it right back up. I'm not a big fan of if you guys have watched any of my content, you will know I'm very big on slowing down, control your emotions. Don't make irrational decisions. Don't go on Facebook and blast Lead Zolo because they turned down your refund, or they said they sent you a lead with mobile home on rented land. For me, I thought those are a bit overreactions. And then you just burn a bridge, right? For me, it's always been about establishing a relationship with these vendors and communicate with them and try to. The best feedback that they can get is from us, their customers, about what we're seeing and what we're feeling, and essentially training them to what we need, right? And that's what I've always loved about Drew and Gene. Gene, I've been working at Speed Elite. I've been working with him since 2020, 2021, and he listens. He gives feedback from his side, and then he'll listen, and then there's pivots. And Drew has done the same thing inside of Lead Zolo. Sometimes it's a little bit slower than I want it to be, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to burn that bridge, right? So I appreciate the question. Frank says, I know you're a big fan of PPL, but for a blue-collar person like me, you're a welder, 10 hours a day, currently have 2 callers, VAs, that do everything else. They just call. What would you suggest for me? Well, here's my thing, Frank. What are the VAs doing for you? They're cold calling, right? You say, I do everything else. They just call. So they're closing for you, or are you calling to close? Because my thing here is like, one, you have to have a closer. I mean, if you want to train the VA to be a closer, that's one thing. Probably stop calling them VA and call them my employee and make them, part of the team. But if you are closing those, then PPL is still your answer, because all they're doing is mining leads for you. I just need to understand more about your business. How can you create your own map to track deals? All that is a Google map. I created the map, and then you just literally type in the address, drops a pin, you add it to the map, and then every time you do a deal, you just add it to the map. Super easy. What is the problem doing deals in California? There is no problem. I didn't say there was a problem doing deals in California. I just think it's one of the more difficult locations. It's one of my least favorite states. I just don't like it. That's it. Love Virginia, doing nationwide right now, but Virginia will always be my home base. Killing it in Richmond and Hampton Road. Yeah, those are great locations. And Jared, you're a great example. You could have a very similar stat to what we have, right? 29% of our deals are done in Texas. However, no one looks at Titanium Investments and says, man, they're a great wholesaler in Texas. They just know us as the nationwide guy, right? But then you start breaking down. I mean, the vast majority of the states are like 2-3% of our deals are done there, right? All we're doing is, say this is a straw. I'm taking my straw and I'm sticking it into other people's, milkshakes. I'm drinking a part of their milkshake. It's from a movie. Caught that. But that's all we're doing. We're just going in like, Jared, your market's Richmond, Virginia. It's like, I'll come in there and I'll steal 3 of your deals a year. No one will know about it, right? Love it. Texas comping. Well, y'all got questions about Texas comping. All of the comp softwares that we use, Privy, PropStream, Batch, all comp in Texas. Do I use Smarter Contact? No. How effective is text blasting? I stopped 3 years ago. Somewhere in there, 2.5, 3 years. So no. If you want to know what softwares I use, you can go to kingclosersformula.com/fleet. Fleet. It's in the description of the video, but it'll show you. Have I ever sold a deal in Gorman, Texas? No. Where's Gorman, Texas? Let's look. Gorman, Texas. No, I have not. The closest I've come is Stephenville. But some people that buy in Stephenville might buy in Gorman. I wouldn't say it's like a bad market. It's just small. He said, Privy to get MLS access. Yes, I did. ARJ, are you guys using the Speed of Leads automated coupon club? Just regular. We have not done the automated. I think the plan is that I'm going to try the automated on a live just to see what happens. If you're calling to close, Frank, then PPL is your solution, and you don't have to spend money on cold calling your VAs. Because think about this, Frank. All they're doing is finding sellers to raise their hand and say they want to sell a house. So you could, when you have time, you could literally just sit down and go on the Speed to Lead, and then you could just buy the lead and then call the seller. That's all you're doing anyways. Andrew, I've seen multiple people post this, and almost every single time the answer has been because you have a filter on. So remove your filters. Clearly, you don't have a low population number to stay away from. I was taught to stay away from under 5,000 people. If it's further than 45 minutes from a city that has 75,000, any advice for a newbie? Well, Steve, I'll say this. You're not so new that you don't have like some sort of idea of what to do. Here's the thing. Why does population matter? Population is irrelevant. It's about buyers. Who's buying there? So I just want to look. So again, another feature of Speed to Lead is it shows you how many buyers they have in that location. If they have 2,000 buyers in the county, then buy the lead. If they don't, then yeah, stay away from it unless you have a known buyer there. Population, irrelevant. Buyers. What do we need? I don't need a bunch of people. I just need one person be an end buyer for me. How come you stay away from the area of Miami? Is it because a lot of people hold on or someone said, no, I wouldn't say it's like something I stay away from. It's just, I've never really loved the acquisitions there. It reminds me very much of like trying to do a deal in like an LA or San Diego, Washington, DC, Brooklyn, New York. I mean, it's just, well, they're very much like I know what I've got. I think it's also, got a lot of wholesalers there, so the volume of leads is probably lower than other locations in the state. Again, this is just from my personal experience as been doing this nationwide, specifically in the state of Florida for the past 5 years. I just can't really think of like a good experience that I've had in Miami. New to wholesaling, where do you recommend I start getting leads? I would recommend you go to Speed to Lead. Well, first, Matthew, you should definitely download the fleet. So kingclosersformula.com/fleet. It's in the description. You should download that. It shows all the systems that we use. I would recommend Speed to Lead. In the Coupon Club, they're the cheapest inbound leads. They're $29 a piece. That's where I recommend everybody get started. Oh, look who's back. Yeah, brother, I remember you, man. I got out of wholesaling because of texting regulations. I now make more. I want to jump back into it. For cost per lead, is texting still viable? No, brother. Welcome to 2025. I remember you used to show up. You used to watch all my batch TVs. You used to ask me questions all the time. So excited to see you back. I remember you guys. I tell you, I'm not full of shit when I say all of y'all's comments mean something to me. I remember this, man. You have not been here in years, okay? So excited to have you back. You need to go to my channel and watch the videos, the foundations of virtual wholesaling. Things have changed. Texting sucks, okay? It's gone. It's gone forever. Just get that out of here. Everything that you knew is better, okay? We're in a much better place now. Do you like Indiana? Yeah. Yeah, Indiana's fucking great. I think I gave it 5 stars across the board. Obviously, Indianapolis is great. Up by South Bend, pretty decent. Evansville is pretty good. Fort Wayne is great. But pretty much anywhere in the state. I like Indiana. Love that analogy. I'm buying coupon clubs. Missouri, Ohio, Florida, Texas. Yeah. You have all my respect. Not one person in existence that ever had a scam like report on you. Hard work and love to your consistency. Appreciate you. How many different PPO y'all use? 3. Lead Zolo, Speed to Lead, property leads. Cold calling, pre-foreclosures for lead gen. How would you open up the phone call? Same way I do everything else. Hey, this is RJ Bates. It's calling about your property there on 123 Main Street. Are you looking to sell that property? What? Why would you think I'm looking to sell that property? Well, I buying in the area, and I noticed that your house is in pre-foreclosure, just like you might be interested in selling the property. If they say yes, we'll move on with the closure form. Okay, how much would you be asking for that property? Will there ever be something better than PPL in this golden age of wholesaling? Absolutely. AI is going to come in, and it's gonna change the game again, for sure. I'm assuming AI, there will be some sort of PPL AI merge more than what we have right now, with some of the cold calling with AI. But yeah, I mean, it's always going to improve. It's like when ringless voicemails came out and it was like, oh, this is the thing. We can send out ringless voicemails and instantaneously have 500 people call us. And then it was like, well, that was stupid. Why would we want 500 people to call us at once? And then texting came along and it was like, ooh, this is the thing, right? And we all loved it. And then it was like, oh, text is dying. What's going to happen? And then PPL came in. Do you still do the Crucible or a variant of it? I do not do the Crucible anymore, brother. We actually improved. We actually have Titanium University. You should go to titaniumu.com. It's virtual. It's every day. Today we had a 2-hour-long implementation call that I ran. Everybody on there asks questions, and I give them everything that they need every single day. Advice for scared mindset and jumping into wholesale real estate with no entrepreneur or ambitious family members in business career choices. I don't want to follow the same path. Or advice of my family since they aren't in a position I want to be in. Okay. One, Eric, who gives a shit what your family's done or hasn't done? Okay. At the end of the day, this is your life. You get one opportunity at this. Okay. So just, who cares? Don't listen to them. You want to go make something of yourself. You want to be an entrepreneur? Let's go do it. Okay? So just don't let anyone hold you back. When you're on your deathbed, you're going to look at yourself and be like, did I do everything that I wanted to do? You, like, your brother, your mom, your dad, are they really going to be like, great job of working that W-2 forever? You're going to look back. Hey, I want to go do this. Go do it. If you want to do wholesaling, then one, let's get proof of concept that you can do it and you actually want to do it, right? So that, like, I posted a video today. 2014, from August to December, I did 4 deals. And in those 4 deals, what I determined was, this is what I want to do. And I went all in on it. The thing about being an entrepreneur, Eric, here's the thing. You need to go watch my video. Advice for every entrepreneur needs to hear. I just released it last week, okay? When you decide to be an entrepreneur, you are removing the authority in your life. You are creating anarchy. With anarchy comes chaos. You are the chaos creator. What you need to understand moving forward is that failure is part of the plan. Struggle is part of the plan. But fucking winning and living the life that you want, ultimately, that's part of the plan too. So get your teeth kicked in, fail, sleepless nights, work your ass off to then get to a point where it's like, I created this reality. That's all part of the plan, and that's what you want, that's meant for you. Other than some insane AI algorithm, I don't see anything getting better than PPL. I'd agree with that. I mean, I think AI is going to come out with something. If you had $1,000 to invest in a coupon club, which state would you go for, Texas or Ohio? Ohio is going to be easier, lower assignment fee. Texas, probably a little bit harder, especially in some of the big states, right? Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Fort Worth, Dallas. It's going to be harder, right? You can get your teeth kicked in. We got some big dogs out here, okay? Ohio, a little bit easier. So if like $1,000, that's a lot of leads. You might need to just do both, just so you can actually spend it. I don't know if it would take you a while, right? If you only did one. What should I do with $1,000 marketing budget? By the way, it's been a minute. What the fuck's up? What's up, Josh? Speed to Lead Coupon Club. Eric, I quit my W-2 and jumped into wholesaling at 6 weeks pregnant. I don't recommend that per se, but if you just need to have the full commitment and determination and position with the right people. Facts. Stephanie is a TU member. And I am proud to say that not only is she a TU member, but when she came into TU, the way that she carried herself, the questions that she asked, and the help that she gave inside the community, we actually, we I don't even want to say we headhunted. I mean, we just came and we said, we need you at Titanium. We need you on the team. And she joined the team a couple of weeks ago. I think we're approaching a month. Absolutely rock star Stephanie Bevan. She helps on the customer service side, coming up with different ideas. And dude, she is 9 months pregnant, like 36 weeks pregnant. I mean, her belly is like dragging the ground, and she is an absolute rock star. Love having you on the team, Stephanie. Do you focus on doing cash deals only, or do you do creative finance offers? Matthew, we absolutely do creative finance. I have several videos on this topic. Exit strategy first determines your acquisition strategy. There's absolutely times where creative finance is a necessary tool. It is an acquisitions financing strategy. So why would we not leverage that? We have done sub-2 and seller finance for many, many years, long before creative finance and sub-2 and all of this was hot topics. We were doing that. I also believe that it does get abused inside the industry because most people leverage creative finance because the deal doesn't necessarily work, instead of leveraging when it's the right play. It's the right solution for both buyer and seller, and because the situation mandates a creative finance offer. But you could definitely, there's many videos of me closing sub-2, seller finance, novations, and then me actually talking about when you should use those. RJ, I'm 17 and working my way up right now to buying your education. Once getting funds, would you rather me first get your titanium calculator or TU? And later on the road, how does the calculator deliver? TU, you get all of that. So yeah, if the choice, I mean, if the choice is between a $6,000 plus lifetime access to TU or a $99 profit calculator, is definitely the $6,000 lifetime access to where I can turn you into an absolute killer. Profit calculator you would get for free with that. So you get everything when you join TU. How does the calculator deliver? It's just you punch in numbers. We show you how to use that in the training. Can you please touch on how you handle inspecting a property and buying when it comes to disposition? I know you use InvestorLift and I've built out your own list, but could you touch on it? How do I handle inspecting a property? Well, Jasmine, I mean, when we get a property under contract, we're not necessarily inspecting it. We're just getting pictures taken of it. So we would ask the seller to send us pictures. If the seller can't send us pictures or the tenant can't, if we have a known buyer, then we would send them. If not, we're going to hire a handyman or someone like Investor Boots to go out and take pictures. And then we are going to market that to the end buyers through InvestorLift or DealSpeed or Investor Base or where email blast, Facebook groups, whatever. And then we're going to go send them for showings. But when you're talking about finding buyers, I mean, Jasmine, I have specific videos on that, like how to find the best cash buyers, and then me also using InvestorLift. For me, InvestorLift is free now. So you get the free version. We have several people inside the group that are using the free version and then renting the buyers and having great success with that. So I wouldn't say necessarily like don't undercut yourself and think that you can't use the tools that are available. What about the sub-2 wraparound triple-double novation seller finance with cherry on top pitch? Man, that's called the super white glove equity protection program pitch. I love it. Most people use creative finance as a crutch versus learning and mastering the negotiation to get the right price so that it would work, whether cash or creative. Facts. Absolute facts. It plagues our industry. Do you see investors looking for seller finance deals more than cash deal? No. No, I don't. I mean, there's times where people like seller finance. I think the majority of the time people just feel like creative finance is going to be a better solution for the end buyer, and majority of the time the end buyers are like, can I just do this cash? Can you please touch on your process for finding buyers and doing also, yeah, I just got that. Yeah, listen, it's a process, Jasmine. Like you just got started with speed to lead. You're probably getting properties under contract. Now you've got your next difficult, right? You've got dispo issues, and this is going to be part of the growing process. Very common for people to come in and immediately have dispositions issues. It's you. What is the main thing that you have to accomplish inside dispositions? Build relationships with end buyers. So you're probably getting deals in locations where you don't have end buyers. Really building up. We have the Dispo formula that you can download. I believe it's in the description of the video. Let me check real quick. If it's not in there, you can get on our toolkit. And we got so many things that we give away to you guys. What's the fucking link? Let me get it for you. TMU? Hold on. Yeah, you need to download this. This is how you talk to your end buyers. And that'll help you out a lot. And then I have tons of videos on this as well. All right. Do these rich buyers pay with debt, as in loan money? A lot of them. Yeah. What's your experience wholesaling in Louisiana? I find folks here to be unrealistic. It's miserable doing dispo in Louisiana. That's my experience. Yeah, I just want to say that you've inspired me and put fire back into me this last week or so. I've been on a hamster wheel of 25K per month for years. No more. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's get some more. Yes, Angel, you're right. Please like this video. Everybody should definitely download this. If you download the toolkit, you automatically get the market breakdown. I need to close 2 or 3 deals to join Titanium U. How can you help me out? Well, Jeff, you got to be talking to sellers every single day. I mean, if you got leads coming in, download the toolkit, use closures formula, use the resources that I'm giving you, right? Speed to Lead Coupon Club, use the closures formula. You can go get the profit calculator for $99, right? There's things available to you. Realistically, Jeff, the facts are 2 to 3 deals, not really that big of a deal. In fact, I mean, if you just close one deal at the average assignment fee of $15,000, you would have more than enough to join Titanium U. And we even have options in regards to joining that. So let's not get lost in the weeds there of what we need to do, because if this is what you want to do moving forward, you close at 2 to 3 deals is just part of what you're going to be doing forever, right? So let's just get it started. How do we do that? Buy leads every day, talk to sellers every day. Make sure we're getting better on the phone. Make sure we're comping and underwriting correctly, right? Conservative on our ARV, aggressive on our rehab. Get yourself a spread in there and be able to close deals. Do you wholesale in Virginia? Pros and cons? Boy, some of you late stragglers come in. Yes, we wholesale in Virginia. The pro is it's a great market, great for acquisitions, great for dispo. The con is it's got regulations. Earlier, someone mentioned a coupon club, and you said that you can get a decent amount of leads for $1,000. Yes, it's Speed to Leads Coupon Club. Speed to Lead, baby. It's $200 a month and $29 a lead. This one, Y'all need to download all the things. I feel like I say this stuff all the time. Nick says it to me. Repetition is the mother of all skills. Man, he never lies to me. You guys need to download this, and then it'll get you to the promised land. What is the most deals you've closed in a month? I don't know that I know that number. I know at one point in time, separate sellers, we had 96 properties under contract. I know one day we had a portfolio deal close of 68 properties. So I'm assuming that month was a banger, right? But I don't know that I know that. I don't know if I know a specific month or number. But yeah, man, we've had some pretty crazy times around here. Why do you give so much free game? You remind me of Tyson Smith. Tyson Smith was a one-on-one student of mine. Tyson came to the Crucible, and we worked together for quite some time. I'm mad at him because he does the fake underwriting department. I love Tyson. Why do I give so much away? Because this changed my life. When I look at what I want my legacy to be, I say this all the time inside of TU. Me passing down a bunch of money and assets to my children and my family, that's a guarantee. That's just going to happen. Okay. But the legacy that I want to leave behind is the fact that I impacted as many people as I possibly can. I want that to be millions of people. But this is a grind, right? It's a grind to make sure I deliver in the right way and I get it out as much as possible. Today is my 402nd straight day of doing a video on YouTube. I mean, relentless, consistent effort to bring value and to change y'all's lives. That is the legacy that I want to have. And of course, in the meantime, I'm going to make a shit ton of money doing it. Then I'm going to leave a massive legacy behind in my family. But for me, if I could impact a 17-year-old to change his life and to come directly out of high school, wholesaling real estate and making a significant amount of income, that means something to me. When I have Ishraq from Bangladesh join Titanium University, and he was a virtual assistant, and now he's running a nationwide virtual wholesaling machine from Bangladesh, that means something to me. That man listened to my podcast for years in Bangladesh, and now as a member of TU, that's something I want to do. That's cool shit. Making money? Yeah, it's awesome. But when I look back, I want to know that I gave everything I could to impact as many people, have impact, change, do things the right way, and make you guys available or give you guys the opportunity to support your families and to pass down a legacy. That's why I do it. If you have a good budget, $2K a month, how would you go about buying leads? Just buy it all once or a certain amount each day? Daniel, get you a queue of leads, whatever that amount is, 50, 60, 70, whatever. As many go out. So today on Tuesday, if 10 go out, 10 got to come in on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, 10 go out, 10 got to come in on Thursday. That's how you manage your leads. Maybe this is private, but how much you charge for Titanium, what's included? It's not private. I mean, I talk about it all the time. I mean, we hide it behind the videos and stuff like that on the website because we run marketing and we change the price every single class. Right now, the last class we just onboarded them is $6,601, so $6,601. The price will be higher than that for the 11th class. Justin ain't behind me. So it's probably like $6,650 or something like that. What's included? You get the video course, you get the free Facebook group, and then you get daily implementation calls with either myself or Cassie or another member of Titanium. Normally I run 2 a week. Cassie runs 2 a week. And then Nick, our other partner, runs 1. You also get live seller call reviews of yourself. So you would record yourself talking, and then I would coach you through that. You would get to listen to other people's seller call reviews. You have access for comping. So how much is the 11th class? $66.50. So $66.50, and then you get comp reviews. So if you're ever struggling with a deal and you need help comping, you can submit it into the portal. We'll coach you through it. It's basically just daily interaction with us here at Titanium to get you pointed in the right direction. Just purchase the $99 program. There you go. You got the profit calculator. Yeah, 6,600 price, constantly rising, always. Let's see here. Train videos, calculator, access to buyers, and RJ. You have a way I can download the profit calculator? Yes, you can buy it at kingclosersformula.com/titanium profits. That's the only way you can get it, unless you steal it. Tyson Smith's starting to look like 2010's Mike Ditka, especially that cheesy mustache. That dude changes his look, man. Victor says the best community in virtual wholesaling. Absolutely. What am I joining? Where are the free links? The free links? I gave them to you. They're in the chat. Titanium Fleet. You don't even have to do anything. You just literally click on the picture and it just pops up on your screen. That one, we don't even get your email for that one. That is literally the freest lead magnet of all time. And then the other one, what was the other one I gave you? The toolkit. The toolkit is like a 105-page novel about wholesaling. Let's see here. RJ, at what point did those regular thousands of checks become normal? Well, you have to understand, in 2014, we had already been an entrepreneur for 4 years. The first couple of ones, I'd say right after the $11,000 close in Keller, Texas, and the $27,000 close in Dallas. So that would be our second and third wholesale deals. From that moment on, I could not tell you the order, right? I know Sunset Lane, I know Shady Lane, and I know Wateca, right? Those are my first 3 deals. After that, it became, because we were dead serious about it. It's like, this is what we're going to do. And so from there, it became normalcy of like, all right, our livelihood depends upon this. The first couple ones, it was like proof of concept. Let's see here. Do you have any experience with commercial or industrial properties? If so, can you share a bird's eye view of some of the key differences? I have 0 experience with industrial. I have very limited experience with some commercial, but not like enough to where I would really go in depth or feel like I'm the expert enough to teach on it. The majority of small commercial that we've done has been like, small little one-off buildings, mixed use units. We did like a seller finance deal in Ohio, where it was basically a 3-unit mixed use building. It had like a post office and then something else, and stuff like that. But realistically, it just becomes down to cash flow on the majority of the commercial side. Daily interaction sounds awesome. For how long? Forever. Never goes away. Can I submit a deal for your team to help close? No, we don't close other people's deals. My question to you would be, Jeff, why wouldn't you be able to close your own deal? I want you to close. I'll show you how to close. You got to learn that. That's like the bread and butter of what we do. Do you have any info on being able to wholesale in Oregon after the new laws? Yes. So, way up at the beginning, it's the pinned comment. You can download this for free. Easy REI Closings, who we recommend for transaction coordination, actually wrote this report. They called it the War on Wholesaling. So it's the pinned comment on the live chat. You see it in white right there. You can click on that. You can download this for free. It goes through all of the regulations in all of the different states. In here, wholesalers must meet the state's registration requirements, which may involve additional costs and compliance measures. The law defines residential property wholesaling as marketing residential property where the marketer only has an equitable interest or an option to purchase, has held this interest for fewer than 90 days, and has invested less than $10,000 in the development or improvement costs associated with the residential property. It's one of the worst regulations ever made. So that is the information I have on that. You're from Jamaica and you motivate me a lot. I can't wait to start. Gucci Bay Gucci, when are you going to join TU? I need you in TU. Here's the reason why. One, it sounds like you're ready to get started. So let's just go. Let's get started. Two, you guys check this out. I don't only have a map for deals we've done. We got deals of where people are located inside of TU. So as you can see, we got Australia. We got Bangladesh. We got Israel. We got Italy. We got Germany. We got Ukraine. We got Colombia, which now Colombia has moved to Brazil. Okay. We got Hawaii and Alaska. We got Nicaragua. Okay. But man, look, Jamaica's just sitting out here for the taking. For that little titanium arm emoji. To be in Jamaica, I need you to join. I need you to join. We got a Jamaican person on here. It would almost make me. Should I do the cheesy joke? It would make me happy. It's Australia. When Australia signed up, I lost it. You mean you want me to buy the deal? I mean, is it a good deal? Is it in Fort Worth, Texas? I mean, we have plenty of in buyers. I'm pretty focused on wholesaling. I talk about this a lot with Headshot Concept, especially Jeff. If you join TU, you will hear me repeatedly talk about Headshot Concept. But yeah, I mean, if you get a good deal, I mean, you can definitely submit it to us, and I'll point you in the right direction for sure. My best year revenue wise, Audi, I appreciate the question. I'm not going to do that on a YouTube video. I'll say this. It was a healthy amount. I'm happy and I have everything that I want. But I'm not going to talk about specific amounts of money that we made in a year. The dog this is Titus. He's a pit bull mix. Cassie and I went to a house in 2019, and it was in Fort Worth. And when the lady that was showing us the house, she opened the door, Titus came running out at me, and I thought a pit bull was coming to attack me. He was a little puppy at the time, though. And I said, "Is this your dog?" And he came up, and he was just wagging his tail. And she said, "No, right before you guys showed up, someone just threw him out of the car and drove off." She said, "So I called the pound, and I mean, we're looking at a pit bull." And you know, we pretty much knew, like, if the pound comes, he's probably going to be put to sleep pretty quick. So Cassie fell in love with him, and we left with him that day. He comes to the office every day. Normally he chills out, but the problem is Cassie's recording a video in her office, and he knows that. And so normally he's fine being in the office with me, but because he knows Cassie's over there recording something and he can hear her talking, he's freaking out. Let's see. So should we not wholesale in Oregon anymore? Joshua, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how you wholesale in Oregon without navigating it. I don't see the loophole. So I would recommend going to a different market. I just don't. Maybe a license or something. Just based off the way that I just read that, I don't know the loophole. Is there anyone in TU or anyone you know personally that is wholesaling commercial? I know you preach Headshot Concept, but just curious. No, I don't really know. I don't really know anybody that's doing significant amount in commercial. I guess Logan Fulmer. He's not in TU. Logan Fulmer would be the person. There you go. What year? 2024 is pretty good. 2024 might be the year. 2024, 2021. I think 21 was bigger than 22. 23 was pretty good too. I think it's going to be 2024. Remember, I got multiple entities, so adding that up. But I think 2024 is going to be pretty close. Do most landlord investors buy in cash, or do they do financing? And can I pitch tenant-occupied properties to cash buyers? Well, the second question is yes, all day, every day. And do most landlord investors? Well, it depends. I mean, some will come in and do like hard money loan, do repairs, and then right? And then refinance. Some will do a private money loan, which would be cash on your side, what you would know, and then they'll refinance later. Some old school will just use their own cash. But very rarely is it going to be like they want to purchase with a conventional financing loan. It's going to be some sort of short-term financing to then refinance. Have you ever bought deals that took a role as a cash buyer? Yeah, buddy. I mean, like a few hundred times. We don't only wholesale. I mean, we have flipped hundreds of properties. We've owned hundreds of properties rental wise. We still own quite a bit of properties. We have quite a few notes on the seller finance side that we get paid on monthly. 2018, 2019, I mean, we did everything. I mean, we did Airbnb, we did flips, and we, at one point in time, I owned properties in 12 different states, including Hawaii and Alaska. So, yeah. The daily group, well, the implementation calls is open to everybody inside of TU. It usually ranges. It could be 50, 60. Today it was 90, but we just onboarded a new class. So normally what we see is we've got the regulars, right? People that show up every day. And then we've got the people that will show up maybe 2-3 times a week. We've also got the people that would just hop in because they've got a specific need. So they ask a question. And then we've got people that will submit a seller call for a review. So they'll show up for that. It just depends. But it's normally somewhere in the range of 50, 60, upwards to 80, 90. By the time today's call got all the way up to 90, and then by the end it was down to 35 because I'd answer people's questions and stuff. How many views will that video have? Clickbait. How much I made 2024 and never say it. I don't do those types of videos. I'll do the specific videos that we've been doing right now, which is like watch me make 70,000, watch me make 10,000, watch me make 5,000. I'll do those videos specifically on a deal because I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not ever going to do the whole like how much I made in this year. To a certain degree, I do want to kind of have some sort of privacy because as public as I am, I mean, dude, my son has like some of his buddies on his hockey team, like they watch my YouTube channel. Like they come in here and watch this. I mean, imagine if, a 12-year-old, he doesn't know how to navigate some of the things that are discussed on here. If I'm talking about, come on, Titus. Hold on a second. Let me let Titus out. He's losing at this point. All right, sorry about that. But anyways, some of it, I mean, even some of the videos that I put out, I mean, there's been questions asked, family members, it's different stuff. And it pulls people out of the woodworks, So, can you do a live getting a deal on the journey all the way through the finish? Yeah, brother, I just talked about it. I literally released like 3 of those in the last 3 weeks. Like, I've literally shown, like, here's where I got the lead. Here's me closing the deal. Here's our marketing page. Here's the pictures. Here's the wire. And, like, literally us narrating all the way through exactly what you want. So yes, I can do that. How do you manage single family rentals? Property management company, or we do it in house. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at that. Just throwing that out there. How often does in-person meetups happen? Very rare. We don't really do those inside of TU. Just being honest, it's all virtual. I think we'll add it some point in time, but the only times that we've really had in-person meeting, me and Cassie went to Florida, so we had a Florida meetup with all of our members. We had dinner with them, and then we will run competitions inside of TU, where if they win, they get to come to the office and just hang out with me and Cassie for the day. What made us come up with titanium? Great question. So we wanted something that stood for strength. We wanted it to be like a strong name. Integrity Investments was one of the first things that we looked at. It was already taken in Texas. And then I thought about titanium. And then when I saw that titanium was the 22nd element on the periodic table, Cassie was born on February 22nd. So 22 has always been her number. In sports, I always liked to wear 22. I always didn't have it because sometimes, football, different sports, it was either taken by a upperclassman or whatever. But 22 was always my number that I would choose. And so it was always a very important number to us. And it was just a perfect fit, and it was available. And that's what made us choose titanium. I never thought that the word titanium would be as important as it is a decade later. It's crazy. You don't have EMD and proof of funds. How can I arrange it? Well, sounds like you're doing a deal on the MLS, because otherwise, why would you have proof of funds? I mean, most sellers off market don't ask for proof of funds. 2, EMD is the negotiable amount. So again, if you're on market, doing deals off the MLS. In fact, what I just said, Cassie is recording, is can you wholesale off the MLS? That's the video that she's recording. It'll be coming out later this week. And it's one of the things I was talking about when we were discussing what we needed to discuss on that video. It's like, listen, you could wholesale off the MLS, but it can become cash prohibitive when it comes to the E&D side of things. The main thing is on the proof of funds, you need to get it from a legitimate lender. So you can check out Wildcat Lending. They give proof of funds. Okay. That would be a legitimate proof of funds, saying that they have verified that, they would be willing per their underwriting to loan on that property. And then EMD, you either need to find a way to come up with yourself or borrow from someone else. Some people say you get it from your end buyer, but if it's an MLS deal, you're probably going to have, 24 to 48 hours to submit that. A lot of times you can't dispo a deal that quickly, especially without having pictures or whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, again, this was a negotiable term. So you probably shouldn't have said that you would deposit a certain amount of EMD without having it. Best way to vet a buyer and get them to commit to the deal. Well, number one, when you're talking to them and you're vetting them out, I think it's very important to just have a brief conversation about, like, how many deals are you buying? How many deals are you doing right now? What's your strategy? You're looking to flip, buy rentals, casually talk about that. How do you plan on financing the deal, right? Is it going to be a hard money lender, private money, your own cash? Get get a track record, right? You can look them up in different softwares to see what deals they have or have not done. And then walk them through the process of like, okay, you're going to be going to the property. It's going to be vacant. There'll be access via a lockbox, or the property is tenant occupied or owner occupied. You're going to be meeting this person. If they're going to be meeting someone there, this is a wholesale deal. We have this property under contract. Please do not discuss price. Please do not do this or that. And then once they go do the walkthrough, or if they've already made you an offer, once they do that walkthrough, that's where you're going to really set a time and really talk about, what did you see? And if there's a discrepancy in like the price to the offer amount, then you're going to reverse engineer what we do with sellers. So with sellers, what do? If there's a discrepancy on the price, we get them to agree to an ARV. We get them to agree to a certain amount of repairs, and then we can logically explain why our offer is what it is. With an end buyer, you do the exact same thing. You say, okay, what are you seeing as an after repair value? If there's a disagreement there, then we back that up with facts. And then, okay, what are the repairs that you're seeing? If there's a disagreement there, then we ask them, what are you seeing that I didn't see in the pictures? And then from there, it's just about how much profit they're making, right? So based off of these numbers, we see you making $40,000. This is where the profit calculator is really important. We see you making $40,000. That not enough? A lot of times what we've seen when we do that is the end buyers didn't even really know how much profit that they were making. They were doing it more off of a financing thing where it's like, I need this low, so I'm bringing this low amount of cash out of pocket. But when we explain that, that's where we see a lot of success. And then that's where you go for the close and get them to commit to the deal. Looks like I need to JV the first two deals to join Titanium U. How can I submit a deal? You can just email for a form link at jv@titanium.investments. Do you invest in crypto? Very little. I got a little bit, but not a lot. Why do people even wholesale their homes to us? Well, they don't. They sell them. Like, for example, when they see you as scam or scam likely, like any other call you would see and decline? No. That's why PPL is so vitally important, right? We're not cold calling them. They're filling out a form and saying, I need to sell a house. And there's many different reasons, tired investors, don't want to be a landlord anymore, overwhelmed flipper, death, probate, inheritance, pre-foreclosures, tax delinquencies, vacant properties, physically distressed properties that they don't have the money to fix, financial distress. There's all types of reasons as to why they would want to sell to us. Can you talk about the headshot concept? Man, Cedric, I talk about the headshot concept all the time. I got a whole video on it. I got a forum on there. I got forums on for days, man. But yeah, man, if you go to my channel, I want you to watch the full video on it. It was right around Christmas time. It's video with Sonic the Hedgehog all titaniumed out. You can definitely watch that. But basically, the concept here is that you need to have one thing on your business that you focus on. And that one thing is what you will do and say focus on and say yes to. And anything outside of that, you say no to. And if you do that, that makes you a hedgehog. If you do anything else, then you're a fox. So, for example, Jeff brings me a property in Fort Worth, Texas. It's a great rental property. I could take it down. Probably want to. That would make me a fox. My headshot concept is I'm a nationwide virtual wholesaler. I have to say no. Until I'm at the point where Titanium Investments and Titanium University run without me, right? Where I have to be involved in the business. I'm not talking about showing up to an implementation call. I'm talking about really the intricacies of running the business. then I need to stay laser focused, my hedgehog concept. And then I can go create another business. That'll be a rental business, right? The only properties that I have right now are ones that I've purchased years and years and years ago. Last year, no rentals, no flips, no novations, nothing. Wholesale. That's why last year was so great. How can I build credibility and the trust with sellers if I've never done a deal and don't have a huge buyers list ready to go? With your process. With your process, Jeffrey. What I mean by that is when you call a seller, hey, Jeffrey, I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Filled out a form saying you want to sell that. Is that correct? Yes. Awesome. How much you want for it? $100,000. All right, $100,000. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on. Well, it was a rental property and it's vacant now, and tenants tore it up, and I don't have the money. I don't want to fix it up. So it needs work. The tenants messed it up. How much work does it need? I don't know. I could probably get it done for $10,000-$15,000. Gotcha. So you don't have the $10,000 to $15,000. You just want to be done with it. Yeah, I could if I wanted to, but I just want to be done. How'd you come up with $100,000? Well, I was looking on Zillow and I felt like it was worth this much, and then I discounted the $10,000 to $15,000. Well, I'm an investor just like you, so if I'm going to come in, I'm going to do the work and whatnot. I'm going to need a little bit of a discount so I can make money on it, right? Yeah. All right, well, if I were to cover the closing costs and there was no realtor commissions, what's the best price you could do for me? I could do 90. All right. Well, Jeffrey, here's the thing. If we can come to an agreement on price today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over a 2-page agreement. And once that's signed, I would come out, I would do an inspection on the property and make sure that I could get the work done for that $10,000, $15,000 that you're talking about. And if that's the case, then I'll be good to close at your price and on your timeline. But if it's not, then we will have to revisit the price timeline. Does that make sense? Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. And then we close. And that's how you build the credibility, because it sounds like you've done it time and time again, just like I did. I just made all of that whole thing up off the top of my head because I've done it hundreds of times. You have to get to the point where you can have that conversation on the fly. The credibility is you, not the deals you've done. It's the way that you carry yourself. It's the way that you talk. It's the way that you navigate and you listen to the conversation. What do you do on a daily when you're not doing the 50-50-50? Well, my days right now are different depending upon like if I'm doing the implementation call for TU. So like today came in from 9 to 10. I basically just looked at some different reports, financial reports that got sent over to us for January. Looked at our expenses, looked at the revenue and the profit. And then I had an implementation call from 10 to 12. And then from 12 till 2, basically had free time. So, Josh, I talked a lot about that on my video, the 22 elements of productivity. I have a lot of scheduled time where there's nothing. So I did preparations for this video. Talked to Stephanie. Well, actually, I talked to Stephanie previous, but I talked to someone else on the team, Garrett, about some different things. Talked to Justin about a deal. Wanted to verify what was going on there. Once I'm done with this live, I don't have any time constraint here. So once I'm done with this live, I'll probably do a couple of other things to wrap up the day. And then that's my normal Tuesday, right? Every Tuesday at 2:22, I go live. Tomorrow, Wednesdays, I'm normally completely free. I don't do the implementation call. So I'll shoot some content tomorrow. But I will also just kind of sit back and look at everything that's going on, whether it's wholesaling, acquisitions, dispositions. Where are we sitting? Are we hitting our metrics? Are we doing the deals that we want to do? Look at TU sales. I'll look at the TU customer service metrics. make sure that everybody's taken care of, and just kind of have time to free flow and think and just be inside of my business. I love being here and being with my team and being able to come up with ideas and do what I do on a daily basis, man. It's not, I'll tell you this, it's not ever doing acquisitions or dispositions. It's just mainly finding ways to better the performance of the team. I'm starting in the Texas market. Since it's a non-disclosure state, I have the county websites and agents as my, no, privy, prop stream, batch, privy. That is the third time someone's asked me how to comp in Texas. It's crazy. See you at the next Titanium U. I hope so, man. It's coming soon, 20 days. I ended up on the call with the CEO of Lead Zolo over a post I made in the vault yesterday. He's really focused on trying to provide a solution to the quality dip the community has been experiencing. That's what I'm talking about, Will. I told you that they care. They care. They're going to better their product. When we tell them it's not good, they will fix it. And the problem is the dip in quality, but also the refund policy. Let's see. What's the best way to find off-market leads? Speed to lead, property leads, Lead Zolo. You need to go download the fleet. I'll show you everything in the fleet. There's the fleet. Get you some of that terrifying tales. Howie, the 50-50-50 was when I went live on YouTube for 8 hours a day doing 50 deals in 50 states in 50 days. So 50 days straight, I went live doing acquisitions for 8 hours a day. It's all on my YouTube channel. There's a playlist right on there. But I did 125 deals live in 50 days. So you can see me literally call, leave voicemails, talk to the sellers, all the bullshit, everything. You see it. Grinding 50 days straight. I try to do that on the phone. I'm comfortable talking to them about all that, but virtually I don't have boots on the ground. I don't have a ton of buyers. Just finding that after finding a deal. Well, Jeffrey, you have buyers. Tomorrow's video touches on this. It's the six reasons why we can wholesale anywhere. That's the title. You have access to it. You're just not utilizing the resources. One, if you're not comfortable with getting a system or a tool or not knowing how to use it yet, leverage the community, right? Join the vault. Go into the vault and say, I got a deal in Cleveland, Texas. Bet you'd have 10 people that say I have buyers in Cleveland, Texas. Same thing inside of TU. I mean, we have people, I tell everybody, dude, you should totally JV your first several deals. I JV'd like my first 100 deals. I didn't dispo a deal until 2016, you know? Well, that's a lie. I dispoed the first three. But once I found a JV partner that was like dispo only, I mean, it was like, dude, this is great. This is way better. I do way more deals if I'm only focused on acquisitions. Boots on the ground, I mean, just download the fleet, investor boots. That is your boots on the ground. They'll go do it for you. You got it. Shout out to Garrett. Oh, G Money. Had a call with him today. He's awesome. About more work to do before joining TU. Let's get it. Sounds like you're full on into the delegation phase of the business. I am doing exactly what I want to do phase of the business. If I want to be in it, I get in it. I don't need to be in it. I do a lot. I work my ass off. I can't remember the last time I had an 8-hour day. So I love what I'm doing. So I don't want you to think that it's like I'm just sitting on my ass over here being like, woo, making tons of money. I'm up in it. But I love what I do. So that's why. What would you do if wholesaling magically disappeared? Well, it wouldn't. But I mean, real estate still would need something. Realistically, if wholesaling just did magically disappear, I'm pretty passionate about coaching. I really enjoy it. I would probably find some way to just lead and coach individuals, either just being an entrepreneur, whether or not it's for wholesaling or whatever it is. I'd probably do something in that realm because I'm pretty passionate about that right now. I get a lot of fulfillment from it. How often do you contact the seller if they don't answer the phone? Every day until they respond. Forever. Forever, ever, ever. I mean, we follow up relentlessly. It's what we got to do. So text, voicemails, calls, change up the time, send funny GIFs, send funny memes. They will eventually respond. I promise you. You hear that? Or maybe the phone's different. Phone number's different. They died. Who knows? All right, people. Don't forget 2 things. Well, I gave you a lot of downloads today, but the War on Wholesaling report right here. It's the pinned comment. Make sure you download that. And then also what I broke down, titaniumu.com/markets. They're both free. There's no reason for you not to download those. What market should you wholesale real estate in? The one where the seller wants to sell a house and the one where an end buyer wants to buy it. That's my saying. There you go. Make sure you guys like today's video. Appreciate all the love and support. We'll see you guys tomorrow.